Episode 16 of Hanantasy 14. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are getting our Chocobro. We have chosen our grand company, and after our grand company, we are allowed to choose our Chocobro, which is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna make our Chocobro our fighting Chocobro as well, because the Chocobro fighter, or the combat companion, it's actually really strong. I will be interested how that plays out with the Beastmaster in a couple of months. So you technically have a beast and a chocobo and a pet. So you're technically 4 things, but not really. But yeah, we'll probably have quite some funny screenshots floating around. Overall, very excited for the Beastmaster solo content as it looks. That's gonna be real cool, and we're gonna do an entire series of the Beastmaster here on twitch.tv/Hanantasy. And we have an Air Force One. Let's see if we can quickly grab the Air Force One and shoot a few targets. Let's see if we can manage. We can grab a few of our gold saucer points because I have been busy. I've gathered a few gold saucer points. We might be able to do a glamour in the next episode, but I have to look up which items I can already buy because I kind of have a style already ready. So yeah, let's do one shot, one kill. Let's do one shot, one kill. Also, the music needs to be increased by volume. There we go. One shot, one kill, guys. Bow, bow. Oh, I missed. What a noob I am. What a noob. Also, the sound needs to be increased. Yeah, that was pretty close. Can you actually, like, WASD this? Yeah, you can actually WASD this. Interesting. Little bit too sensitive WASD, I have to say. Very sensitive indeed. I'd much rather use the mouse. Hey, if you're using WASD or a controller to do Air Force One, that sucks to be you, man. Doing a war crime and a half. Shooting with a controller or aiming with WASD. And I'm allowed to say that, okay? I played Turok 1 and 2 on the Nintendo 64. I'm allowed to call you schmubs because I've been there. I've handled the terrible plastic controllers with 25% dead zone, okay? I've been there, and you should grow out of it. If you are doing aiming, aim with a goddamn mouse and keyboard. I'll tell you this. If you play shooter with... missed another shot. If you play shooter with a controller, you need to be jailed from gaming world society, and you need to be shamed, and you need to be named, and you should get a mouse and a keyboard, and you should definitely play shooters that way. Let's speak to our personnel officer. I'm making fun and jokes. You shouldn't be jailed. You should be executed. Much more environmentally friendly. And you don't pollute the rest of our gamer lives with your joystick aiming, so... Nah, we're not gonna murder you. We'll only torture you. Ooh, there we go, another 10,000. So we have 70,000, so we can indeed get a little bit of skins and stuff. So this is a non-winning line, and let's have corner down here, and the game said F you, I guess. Alrighty, off to the adder's nest we go. Alrighty, I have to say I am pretty excited about the newest expansion. I am very vocally not a fan of Dawn Trail. I think the story of Dawn Trail was not executed well. There was way too many cutscenes. There was not enough gameplay. Overall, the combat I really liked. Like they did a refreshing update with the combat and made it a little bit more difficult. I like that a lot. But I didn't like how they made it a pure storytelling game. I believe in the entire expansion, you fought only like 4 times in the overworld. Like you had like 3 or 4 battles in the entire overworld. The rest of it is just cutscenes, cutscenes, cutscenes. And then you see a super, super cool situation. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna get to play this now. Nope, cutscene. Nope. Nope. You have the extremely cool fight with, I believe it was Estinian that fought with the leader of Tuyolal. And you're like, yo, that's really cool. I'm gonna be playing Estinian now and I'm gonna get to fight that fight. No, cutscene. No. No. Terrible. Dawntrail was terrible. They should have let us play most of the things. Instead, we've watched them. You are to come to the Editor's Nest headquarters of the Order of the Twin Adder. Ever do we welcome they who would toil in the Elemental's name for the good of our forest nation. I'm here to enlist if you will have me. Ah, might you be Isolif Zanza? I thought as much. Our recruitment officer sent word that you would be coming. It is a pleasure and honor to both welcome you to our ranks. Now let me gather the relevant documentation. Sir! What is it? Report. An urgent message from the Amari Sykes Spire, sir. A high-wind Skywish airship has taken fire from Imperial forces in the skies over the Shroud. The vessel's engines were crippled, sir, and was forced to make an emergency landing southeast of the Nine Eves. The Nine Eves? Gods, this could not have come at a worse time, but a handful of our forces are presently afield, dealing with the EXO. Isolif, I know full well you have yet to be formally inducted into our ranks, but we have urgent need for your aid. In all likelihood, the airship was bearing civilians, and if the reports are accurate, it will have come down dangerously close to Garlean occupied territory. Please make all haste to the area of the Nine Eves, locate the airship and ascertain the status of the passengers. Alright. That we do. We need access from Hawthorne Hut, so we already have access to Hawthorne Hut. However, we do need access to the South Shroud and to Quarry Mill, and it looks like I already have made the journey down there at some point. Cool, cool, cool. So we need both of these because our Chocobro at level 30, once you have your Chocobro unlocked, you can get the combat Chocobro here. So let's continue with the mission and let's see if we are able to catch our Chocobro in this episode. I sure do hope so. We have to do Halatali in the next episode, most likely. As usual, we have 3 episodes planned per evening. And in the next episode, I think we're gonna do Halatali. And we're gonna unlock our Halatali. And most likely in another episode today, once we've continued the main story quest a little bit more, we are trying to be a warrior. And we're gonna finish our warrior quest. Alrighty, hello Foxo! Have you had water today? That's a good question. Have you had water today? Did you take your medicine? Did you take everything? Oh, oh really? Really? Yes, very good. No, no medicine today. Well, you should. Probably, I don't know. Homebrew. It's actually quite cold. It's actually quite cold on my cheek. Really quite cold. I have had met no water but homebrew. Homebrew is good. An adventurer! What are you doing here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. Okay, why are you so exhausted? You're a warrior. The others' nest sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform! Peace, friend. We mean you no harm. You are an engineer of Garland Ironworks, are you not? We were alerted of your plight and have come to rescue you. In your eyes of Sansa, I presume. I was told not to expect an honorary serpent. My thanks for your aid, friend. That was a weird smile. I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. Is there no end to this man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They are not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We're taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Imperial scouts from Castromorians. They mean to requisition the ship. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? But isn't that the Ironworks' latest creation? It's the first airship we built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her test flight. And she was soaring, she really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. Attend me, all. The Ironworks' latest creation must not fall into Garlean hands. We shall strike them swift and sure and rescue the engineer Wedge. Noiselif, I trust you I trust we can rely on your support. Oh, she's so pretty. May the matron watch over us. With me! Let's rip him to shreds, shall we? And yeah, I skipped the text box. I was too eager left and right clicking. Let's rip him to shreds. Woo! Crit on! Ba ba bam! Oh, did not crit? Oh, I I did not do crit. I did do aggro. Crit on and now! Ba bam! Not all dead. Let's do one more AOE. Not efficient. Oh, I missed. Oh yeah, well, a blinding will do that for you. Oh, I don't have my triple combo? Really? Oh well. Let's stun the shit out of him. With more ads, where are they? Let's kill him first. There you go. I have aggro out of all of them, that's great. Let's get him down. Nice reprisal. Cooldowns are actually really not necessary as a tank in the story mode. But hey, I have cooldowns, what, right? Might as well press them. Let's kick the shit out of the robot. If an enemy has these orange lightning trails on him, that means he is stunned. Not a reliable method, but good enough. Stop running! Now, there is a concept called diminishing returns in this game. I'll talk about that Ooh, when do I talk about diminishing returns? Probably after the cutscene to explain bugs. I would like to show it, but I can't really. Wait, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So, how she looks anyway. The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. While you do your work, we shall keep watch over the perimeter. The enemy may yet be lurking nearby. As for you, Isolith, you have done more. As for you, Isolith, you have more than done your part today. I bid you return to the Adder's Nest and complete your enlistment. I pray there will be no further interruptions. When we next meet, let it be as fellow serpents of the Order. I just want to say sorry, no? For calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously, though. If it hadn't been for you and the Twin Adders lads here, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm into your depth, friend. We both are. Wedge! Thank you! We're very grateful! So, is this actually... Oh yeah, actually there's definitely custom Orions here. I didn't actually know that custom Orions is this close to Gridania. Interesting. So wait, isn't Gridania then... Let's see. Can we zoom out? Can we zoom out? I somehow clicked the transparency. There we go. Okay, so transparency. Can I zoom out? Region of the world maps. Region of the world maps. Okay, so if we look at this, right? This right here is Gallian area, right? So this is the Gallian area down up here. So this is the Gallian area here. This is the Gallian Empire. Okay? So the Gallian Empire really is mostly front-facing Gridania and Gir Albania, which is Alamigo. So while Alamigo is already taken, I believe, by the Gallians, the ones who are really, really in danger are technically Gridania. But if we are in the Shroud here, that means this pod right here, Castrum Orient, is right here. Interesting. So they are technically just outside here. So the Garleans basically took the entire route here and attacked Gridania from that side. So most likely they swung around and attacked Thanalan as well. So the safest people actually would be La Noscea, because to get to La Noscea they would have to completely scale through Dravania, which has dragons in it, which is not that easy. So they would have to go through the entire water section right here. So they would have to go to the entire water section to La Noscea. Now they could go through the water section here, but that would bring them to Sharlayan and through the dragons of La Isla. I'm not so sure how Garleans managed to get to La Noscea unnoticed. Seems kinda odd. Seems kinda odd to me, but hey, writing, right? Not asking too many questions. Alright, let's go. Someone has level 50 Elegant gear. I notice Elegant gear from a mile away. Serpent, a personnel officer. Isolith, it does my spirit well to see you returned. Word arrived but moments ago from the team at 9 EVs. Lest you worry, 2 engineers are safely on their way. The lieutenant informs me that you were instrumental in the mission's success, and you not found the engineer Biggs when you did, and helped us to rout out the Gaulians. Things might have gone very different. And all this before you even were inducted into the order. You are well on your way for carving out a fine career for yourself beneath the Twin Adder standard. But without further ado, let us see to your introduction. 12 willing, there won't be any further interruptions. Protocol requires that I apprise you of who you are and what we do, after which I will invite you to swear an oath of your own free will. Ahem. The Order of the Twin Adder is the Grand Company of Gridania. It brings together the martial, economic and technological resources of our nation, that we might stand strong in times of direst adversity, when our very survival hangs in the balance. Our order was formed in the days before the calamity, in readiness to fight the Galilean Empire, and to combat the beast tribes and their primals. Needless to say, our struggle continues to this day. The Elder Seedseer Kan E Sena is the supreme commander of our forces. Under her wise leadership, we protect the people of Gridania and the sanctity of the 12's Wood. As with the entwined serpents that grace our standard, let Foreborn strive as one with friends from afar, ensure that the peace shall ever reign in Gridania. In doing so, we honor the will of the elementals, and theirs is the will of the wood. Now then, Isaliftanza, I ask that you give us onto your oath of allegiance, in whatever fashion you may see fit. I can see that, and now it's changed. Hi.
Hello.
I'm just not gonna answer anything to him. The elementals need not words to know your heart. That was cheap. And there is no doubt in mine that you will prove a stalwart servant unto them. Stalwart's a really good Helldivers 2 gun. And apparently is the Fox's primary secondary weapon. Or well, favorite secondary weapon. Stalwart.
Yes.
Good gun. By the power vested in me, I assign you the rank of Serpent Private 3rd Class. You are now a woman of the Order of the Twin Adder. Go forth, Private Sansa, and do that which brings peace to the 12's Wood and honor to our name. I kinda got a fan club already. Oh well.
You mean a hand club?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear me, Isolus? This is Minfilia. An officer of the Order of the Twin Adder contacted me with the news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Sansa. That sounds very, very taunting. I have no doubt that you are eager to make acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask you to pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a Serpent of Gridania, you are no less a Scion. Pray return to the waking sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I'd like to very much you meet. I shall be waiting. Distant call from a friend in need, perhaps? As you are needed elsewhere, I shall not keep you any longer. I would, however, suggest you speak with the High Serpent Commander Vosail Huloix before you depart. He may provide you with assistance on your journey ahead. And that would be our mount, I believe. That would be our Chocobro. Now we need a name for our Chocobro. You may now accept the quest, My Little Chocobo. Alrighty. So we need a name for our Chocobro. Now, unfortunately, focusing on the Grand Company is technically optional, but if you actually want to play high-end stuff at some point, it is not optional, because quite a lot of stuff is locked behind the Grand Company, and a lot of functions are solved through the Grand Company. So there will come time where we have to a little bit focus on the Grand Company, and the easiest thing to do that is doing the leveling daily as a tank, because you get a ton of serpent seals while you do that. It gets much more if you're higher, obviously, but there might be some daily roulettes that we need to do if we want to level up our Grand Company. It's maybe not optional. So, what's a pup no longer? A pup no longer. Training in earnest. Okay. So, my little Chocobro. Oh, Prophet Zanza, I understand you have been working tirelessly in Gridania's name. Not really. You are truly an example of your fellow serpents. Not really. But tell me, have you ever felt as though you couldn't go to your destination quick enough? Perhaps that you could do with a swifter pair of legs? Probably. If you so might consider getting a personal Chocobo. You have yet to be issued your own bird, am I correct? Given your considerable talents, you should be able to obtain one in no time at all. Let me tell you how to go about it. First, you must obtain a Serpent Chocobo issuance by the exchanging company seals with the Quartermaster. Once you have this deed, I present you to our man Singer, who will furnish you with a suitable bird. Alrighty, we need, I believe, 300 or 200 coins, but we have a pup no longer. This will already get us 1,000 to get us started. Listen well, Private Sansa. The Order of the Twin Adder does not just welcome glory seekers willy-nilly into our ranks. You stand here today because we believe in your potential. We believe that you will go forth as a serpent and help restore to a world gone mad. And yet, a potential alone will not carry you far. Indeed, the road to glory is littered with the bodies of would-be heroines who lack the determination and diligence to hone their innate talents. But you will not suffer the same fate, I am certain of it. It is with such high hopes for your future that I would send you to begin your next phase of your training. The venue shall be the Wolf's Den, a proving ground established by the Orsian Alliance to prepare Grand Company recruits for battle that lie ahead. The Wolf's Den is found just to the offshores of La Nosea. The ferry of the Morabi Dry Docks in La Nosea will grant you passage there. Upon your arrival, seek out Storm Captain Berkoea Letalzen. What a name. It's probably Oreogedin. I have taken the liberty of submitting a letter of recommendation on your behalf. That brings us to the PvP zone. Fox, how are you doing today?
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I have more pens.
Oh no. Call back to another episode. So what kind of pens do you have? Because it looks like to me that it is more than a fox pen now. I believe something of a penguin?
Okay. Now, I have the orange one, which is a fox pen and orange ink.
Mm-hmm.
I have... This is not an advert, by the way.
They don't know the brand, so who cares?
This is a... I think it's a beaver, which is blue ink. I have... the heck is that? I have something green with green ink. I have a pig with pink ink. Mm-hmm. I have an elephant with turquoise ink, and a llama with purple ink. Okay. And I'm going to keep them all to myself and not use them for school because they're mine. I'm missing one. Ah, I'm missing this one. I'm missing one.
Okay.
I have the red ink one, which is a bunny.
I'll just not ask why. And yes, it is a Ryogedin. I don't recall seeing your ugly mug around here before, eh? Did you say Huluak send ya? He said he was sending a new wolf's den to the den. Well, bah. More like a runt of the litter if you ask me. You barely have fangs for the honin, but I guess I'm feeling God's damned generous, so I'll throw you a bone. If you start yourself off with the crystalline conflict, them training bouts are special made for feckless, adventurous types who can't tell sound strategy from whole sauce. I still reckon it wouldn't be dawn before you run home with your tail between your legs, crying for your mum. But you can have a word with Lieutenant Gungi Zalungi. Gungi Zalungi. If you insist on giving it a go, you'll find him outside. Assuming you can work up the nerve. And stand up straight, maggot. This ain't the place for the weak of spine. Dismissed. So, Wolf's Den is PvP in Final Fantasy. And I am not a fan of PvP. I used to be a PvP player. In fact, I used to be an esports player. And I have completely abandoned PvP in many and most games. However, Final Fantasy's PvP is actually quite fun. Because Final Fantasy does something very, very, very important. Final Fantasy's PvP is separate from the main game. Which means your gear doesn't matter. Ah, that's Crystalline Conflict, okay. I actually didn't think that it would unlock this. But Final Fantasy XIV's PvP is completely separate from the original game. Your gear doesn't matter and your skills are different as well. So the balancing of Final Fantasy XIV's PvP is completely separate from the main game. And Crystalline Conflict is actually the thing that is... let's see. Okay, there is no quest really to do. It was just an unlock. The PvP is completely separate and you can level your classes with it and all of that stuff. It is actually quite fun. And the only thing you're getting from PvP is style gear, minions, mounts, and frames and such. So that's totally fine. So earning your wings is probably for crystal wings. That's probably for crystal wings. So I think we're good here. We have received 1,400 serpent seals. So back to Gritze we go. And let's get our mount. Let's get our mount, because I am tired of walking in this game. I am so tired of walking. We have still the ill-conceived venture, so we have broadening our horizons. I don't know what that is. So that's the carpenter quest, and that's a PvP quest as well. So let's get our Chocobo assurance, which is in material. There it is, Chocobo assurance. And now we go to Singer. Singer down at the Chocobo business. So usually on this server in Gridania are musicians. Is that correct? No, we have no musicians today. That's very odd. Usually we have musicians here. That's very, very odd. Oh no, there is someone following me. There is someone following me. Oh no, by the way, I need to go there. The Chocobo master is over here. So... what a bird issued, you say? Then I'll need to see the serpent Chocobo assurance. And I just got slapped. Yeah, the fox is following me around. If someone wants to buy the fox, I'll happily pay you for it. So let's work out the deal down in the comment section below. Yes, everything appears to be in order. A moment please, I'll be right back with your Chocobo. Now we need a name.
The height distance. The height difference. It's. I'm standing on the hill and I'm still shorter than you.
Over half a head shorter. Ah, and here he is. The fellow has been in high spirits the past few bells. He must have sensed that his master was coming. Now then, to make it official, you will want to give your noble steed a name. So, let's see, what kind of name are we choosing for our... It is Sykes. Sykes is our Chocobo's name. Now we have our Chocobo. Now, haha, I dare say he likes the name. Here is your very own Chocobo whistle. Simply blow into it and your feathered friend will come bound to your side. But do not forgive him if he doesn't respond when summoned in a crowded city area or monster-infested lairs. Chocobos are stout-hearted creatures, but they have their limits. And lastly, I present you with your Chocobo rider's license, as is required by law. And that concludes all the formalities. I wish you and your Chocobo long years of fulfilling companionship. Now we are using our Chocobro whistle. And now, because we're already level 30, we are teleporting to the Camp Tranquil in the Southern Shroud. And now we're going to get our combat Chocobro. Now we're going to get our... Oh, Odin is here. Just not here probably, but when you have the weather called tension and the shroud looks like this, there is a world boss hidden in the entirety of the shroud. So anywhere in these shroud areas can Odin appear. And once you defeat Odin, you get a few tokens basically to spend on Odin gear and I believe on Odin mount. So he might be somewhere and he is a fate that does not appear on the map. So if you run around and you go fate hunting basically, he might appear just on your visual. The fate will not appear anywhere on the map. You have to visually find him. And this should be my feisty little Chocobo. And the unmistaken smell of Chocobo clings to you, adventurer. Would I be correct in assuming that you have your own trusty steed? I thought so. Now, tell me, is your bird battle trained? If not, you might consider seeking advice of Liquid Law over the Bent Branch Meadows. The Ishgaudian's native is something of a prodigy in all matters concerning your fine feathered friend. He should be able to help you gain greater affinity with your bird. Alrighty, let's grab this quest right here. Ideally you fly, Fox, if you want to find him. Ideally you fly, because you're much faster in flying. And the weather is not this, because you entered Gridania. You cannot enter Gridania. He will be in one of the shroud areas. You have to visually find him. He's a black rider. He's very unmistakably. Greetings, adventurer. Is there something you need? You wish to have your Chocobo trained for combat? This is no small request you make. Riding your bird is one thing. Asking it to take hurts in your name is quite another. I will help train your Chocobo, but on the promise that you will never unduly expose it to danger. Do I have your word? Well, to begin, we will need a bunch of Gishel grains, and you have my leave to pick them from the fields yonder. Return when you have it. Usually people shout in the chat that they have found him. And there's discords dedicated to the server, Shiva, that would shout as well in the discords. So going to your server's discord in Final Fantasy is not too bad, because some stuff is world dependent in any other add-on as well. So you might want to be up to date with that. Have you acquired the greens? Superb, then we shall get straight to it. Doubtless, you already know this, but Chocobos are highly fond of Gishel grains. They love the leafy vegetables so much, in fact, that they will completely forget their fears in the face of danger. And thus, by feeding your bird the greens, you can prevail upon it to fight beside. Then, once called, it will be up to you to direct its actions as you see fit. You will find that your Chocobo innately responds to a number of general commands. Give your bird an order and it will act accordingly. And to the best of its ability, it is a simple yet effective methodology. Was developed by the Fortums family. Oh, the Fortums did that. One of the most foremost houses in Ishgard. And that concludes your lesson. Of course, it is not enough to merely hear about practice. One must venture forth and attempt it yourself. Summon your Chocobo with a bunch of Gishel greens and together make your way to Sorrel Heaven. The broods that prowl in the area should be a suitable challenge for you and your companion. Put down 3 of them and return here. And lastly, by way of advice, I would recommend you keep an ample supply of Gishel greens on your person at all times. Our resident vendor will be able to provide them with you as much as you can carry. Right. So, now, multiple things. We have our Chocobros that we have to fight here, and there should be a shop down here, but I believe the Feather Trader does not sell Gishel greens. Let me see. Nope, that is a different trader for something that we will not get into, and that is Chocobo breeding. That is a very, very, very different beast. That is a very different beast of Chocobo handling, is Chocobo breeding. I have done it. I have done my rank 9 Chocobo, and it is terrible. But basically, you will receive these things here, Gishel greens. And these Gishel greens allow your Chocobo to be 30 minutes out for battle. And if you want to have more Gishel greens, they are available on this NPC. There are more NPCs in the game, but this is the closest we were next to. So let's buy a bunch of Gishel greens. And now, since we bought a bunch of Gishel greens, let's do the quest for our companion Chocobo. And here's the important information about Chocobo leveling, because you can level your Chocobo, but your Chocobo only receives experience when you receive experience. Which means if I, as a level 30, hit enemies that are level 5, it will not do us any good. So you have to basically fight level appropriate enemies, or here's the trick, do fates with your Chocobo. The higher the level, the better the experience, obviously, but your Chocobo gains experience at a very, very different rate than you. In fact, it is so widely different that you cannot relate in any way, shape, or form. What I would, however, suggest is that you look into battles on your challenge log, and you have defeat 20 enemies and 100 enemies comparable to your own for your Chocobo. So if your Chocobo gains experience 20 times and 100 times, it will receive experience. And it will receive 5% and 10% experience as your weekly. Therefore, if you do your weekly, you gain 15% of Chocobo experience. That is a lot for your Chocobo. Because Chocobos are pretty difficult to train, actually. They're actually pretty difficult to train. So, doing these are actually really, really good. The way I leveled my Chocobo was with treasure hunts. I did treasure maps, and I leveled my Chocobo over treasure maps with my Blue Mage, actually. So that was a very, very interesting thing, because Blue Mage is actually level locked in the lower areas and is really, really good at clearing out treasure maps. So that is like one of the really, really good tips. You do fates. So you do fates and you do treasure maps with Blue Mage. That way you can really, really easily level up your Chocobo. Also, I have a very different Chocobo, as you guys can see. I have the recruit a friend Chocobo because I am playing with a friend. So, however, that Chocobo is really old because I have used the friend system quite a lot. And that is actually a 2-seater. So if you and your friend or your spouse or whatever want to play Final Fantasy, ideally you recruit the other person and then you can have your two-person chocobo and can ride together and work, ride in tandem, which is really, really cool. You have successfully negotiated your first few battles with your chocobo. Well done. Tell me, how did it feel? Was it not supremely reassuring fighting with your feathered companion? Your chocobo can make up for your shortcomings or build upon your strength. Indeed, there are countless ways the two you might complement each other. Through some experimentation, you will come to find the approach that serves you best. Before I forget, one last parting gift. A saddlebag for your chocobo. Carrying Gishel greens about can be quite cumbersome after all, and there should be sufficient room in your personal belongings should you need a rise in your travels. And now we have the chocobo bag, which means that your chocobo bag, a secondary inventory, is basically locked behind the feisty little chocobo. So, yeah, do that. Do that quest because really, really, really good. Now, your chocobo in itself is incredibly strong. You can have him either as a tank, a DPS, or a healer. I like my chocobo in the first stages as a healer, secondary as a DPS. I never really use it as a tank. And you can only level your chocobo to rank 10 without Thavnaean onions. I believe they're called Thavnaean onions, which are horribly expensive. And then you can level your chocobo to rank 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, up to 20. And when you have leveled your chocobo to level 20, A, your chocobo is incredibly strong, and B, it will have every single skill of the skill set right here, and you can max out your chocobo. Now, the chocobo in itself is already incredibly strong, but unfortunately the game does not really expand on the idea of your combat chocobo, which I find is a little bit disappointing, and I think it should actually have more stuff with your chocobo. Here's hoping with the Beastmaster update and the next add-on that the chocobo gets a little bit of an update. Also, my chocobo is bigger than you, which is quite funny.
Exactly. Why is your chocobo bigger than mine?
Because, don't ask questions. My chocobo is bigger. Sykes is big, okay?
But can I just say, it's not the size, it's how you use it. But apart from that, can I just say, yes, this is actually a really good thing. Because if we go back to World of Warcraft a second and remember,
I know where this goes.
Geva and his horse.
Yes. Mounts are size appropriate in Final Fantasy, and in World of Warcraft they are not size appropriate. They have a set model, which means if you have a giant character but a tiny mount, just watch the World of Warcraft series, really. There's some stupid things that you can see when a game does not feature size logic. Also, my chocobo mount is a little bit bigger than yours.
Yep, mine can fly.
Yeah, well, I can fly pretty soon. Hopefully. So, we have to go to the Waking Sands, but we are near 50 minutes in this episode. So let's teleport towards the Waking Sands and then log out before Minophilia, because she talks a lot and we will most likely go into overtime. And I'm definitely not looking forward to that. However, Halatali, and we have to do a dungeon. Fox, do you want to accompany us on the Halatali dungeon?
Yes.
Wonderful. Then we are going to accept the Halatali dungeon in the next episode, and we're going to do Halatali because I want this character to unlock all of the dungeons, because I want you guys to see all of the relevant content. So, thank you very much for watching. This has been episode 16, and we finally have our Chocobro, and Chocobros are really good. Please do that quest. My opinion, not optional. You should absolutely do it. You know where to find us. Interact with the video, type a comment, click the like, click the dislike. Anything that makes YouTube think that this is actually good content. So, until the next time, you know where to find us. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.